Hello, Internet. This is Ewan Spence and ESC Insight calling. And we're sorry, the old guitars can't come to the phone right now. Why? Because they're dead. Coming up in the show, we have the names from Melodifestivalen, the songs from Eesti Laul, and the kiss of death for someone in Italy. Yes, good afternoon, good morning, good evening. I'm Ewan Spence, and that was the Electric Prelude from Magica, welcoming you into a good jumping on point for the Insight News podcast. Junior is over. We're looking forward to Tel Aviv now, and this is where it starts to get serious for the adult contest. We do have to say congratulations to Roxy Weigel, winner of Junior Eurovision 2018 for Poland, with Anything I Want to Be, with what has to be one of the most exciting end sequences, with the last four countries in the voting all in with a chance of victory. That's how you want to do it. Thanks to everybody who joined us on the site and listened to the podcasts and tuned into us on the radio while we were covering everything in Minsk. Very much appreciated. You can leave your reviews and comments and all of that back in your podcast review services, your iTunes, your Google Podcasts, your Spotify, because we're on Spotify now as well. All very much welcome. I mean, Anyone I Want to Be had a curious history. It's been noted already that it was basically a song that was looking for a home. Iggy Azalea and Rita Ora had both had a listen to it, we've been told. And it was eventually selected to represent Poland and win Junior Eurovision 2018. We don't know next year's host. Poland have shown a huge interest in it, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be there. Where in Poland, what venue, that remains to be seen. But we do know already that Armenia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, the Netherlands, Poland and Russia have confirmed that they are going to be entering the contest next year. So we're halfway there to the minimum number. We had 20 this year. You need 12. We've got 6. We're going to keep you in the loop on the 2019 venue. Any other details that happen about Junior as they come through. But for now, that's it. That was Junior. Next up, volleying a few national finals, is Tel Aviv. Right then, EBU News and Tel Aviv. We are still sitting at 42 entries. We still have Bulgaria withdrawn. There was a lot of talk at Junior Eurovision on the ground about Kazakhstan making a guest appearance. Certainly, Kazakh are pushing for that one. And maybe if they'd won Junior Eurovision, they could have bit more momentum on that. As it is, they're going to be back at Junior Eurovision in 2019, and we'll wait to see if anything changes for Tel Aviv. I have a sneaky suspicion they're going to be pushing for it, but the feedback from the EBU was pretty clear. They're not going to Tel Aviv, so drop the chances. I don't think it's yet 0, but we'll see what happens. In terms of the organisation, IPBC have agreed to take a loan from the Israeli state to help with hosting costs. It's $18.8 million, something like 70 million shekels, and then another 40 million will come out of IPBC's budget to put on the contest there. So things are going forward. We know that Florian Video's been assigned to the stage. We know that they're looking through and designing on lighting rigs and props and special effects and hardware that is going to be needed to be put into the venue. All of that is under discussion, and we'll keep an eye on the official websites and all of that to keep you in touch. One thing that's been mentioned is ticketing. Obviously, until you have the final design of the stage and the final where everything goes, you don't know how many seats are going to be there, but you have a good guess that some seats will be there, or you might have the open venues. So we may see a small tranche of tickets released in December in time for Christmas. We may not. That remains to be seen. In terms of ticketing, usual things. Eurovision.tv will show you where the official ticket website is. Don't go for the touts. They're going to be in high demand. So just be careful where you buy them. We would always suggest go official or enjoy the Euro Club or the Euro Beach Party or wherever they're going to do it, and be aware of the ticket reselling sites. One other thing from the EBU side of thing, it's the end of the month, it's the start of a new month, so there will be an official top 10 most watched videos video on YouTube. Again, don't want to spoil it completely, but there is a Ukrainian winner that has made it back into the top 10. And we have our first name for Eurovision as well. It is from Armenia, who are making an internal selection this year of Sarbuka. She was the runner-up in the first series of X Factor Armenia. She was on Team Garrick Papoyan, who already has a Eurovision connection as the lyricist of Aram MP3's Not Alone. Fourth place in The Voice of Ukraine in 2018, just behind Ukraine's Junior Eurovision 2015 alumni Alana Trincher. And yeah, it's an internal selection, so we don't have Debbie Everetzi going through, but you do have submissions for songs that are running through the broadcaster. The deadline for that is January the 10th, so if you want to get a song into Armenia, feel free to do so. January the 10th, by the way, is submission deadline for quite a few countries, so if you are a budding songwriter, keep an eye out for January the 10th in your diaries. In terms of national results, really all we've got to go on at the moment is X Factor over at Malta. They're at the 6-chair challenge stage. It's not really a knockout. It is a knockout round. It's there's a big complicated sit and don't sit and move around and thing in there. We've got a couple of multi-Eurovision national final names still in the mix. Aidan Kazar, Danny Muscat, Jade Vela in there. Nicola Zabaradi, who was in Junior Eurovision 2010, is now part of the girl group Extreme. They're awaiting their go in the 6-chair challenge, although I presume it's 6 spots because they're a group, because they can't take up 4 chairs, but they're... Yeah, I'm not completely keeping up to date with the Malta X Factor. We're just keeping an eye on the main ones for that. Right then, break down over the countries. And, well, we've got 2 weeks worth to go through here. We're switching the podcast now to roughly weekly schedule. So it hopefully won't be as long next week. But we'll go. Right then, rough alphabetical order, starting with Albania. We have 1 withdrawal from Festival Kenyas. Vikena will be replaced by Artemisa Mithi and Febi Shurukti. That means that the entry count will stay at 22. And we're looking to take that place in just a couple of weeks' time, actually. 3 weeks to go until that all kicks off. Australia's national final tickets went on sale 2 weeks ago. You might have to scrabble to find if there's any left. We've got 4 of the 10 artists revealed. We've got suspicions on a couple of others, but let's just keep it all official just now. Shepherd. Sprightly pop rock. Their song Geronimo has been on countless adverts all around the world. Kate Miller-Heidke, who's singer-songwriter with a nice modern sound. Mark Vincent, smooth pop opera style soundings. And Electric Fields, experimental electro dance are fronted by Zachariah Fielding, which is already catching a lot of attention here at the Insight Studios. So out of our early picks in Australia, Electric Fields sound stunning. Shepherd would probably have quite a bit of mainstream appeal. That is shaping up to be a hugely impressive national final. And there's still 6 names to go. So they've opened with those 4. Yeah, that's what we want to see. Austria are continuing with their internal selection. It should be decided this month, but there's no word on when we, the public, will have the announcement of the singer and the song. Fair number of details coming through from Croatia. They have their submission process now open and it will be closed on, you've got it, January the 10th. As I record this on Monday the 3rd, there's going to be a press conference about Dora tomorrow on Tuesday the 4th, so we should have more details to report next week. I suspect we'll get confirmation of the host city of Apasia. We know the final will now be on February the 16th and there will be 16 singers selected for the show. And there's going to be 2 reserves selected as well. See Albania, why that's a good idea. Estonia, we've got it. We've got all the songs. So we've heard whoever's going to win. Eesti Laul now. They were revealed over the weekend and on the ERR website. Stig Ras is back as a songwriter. Birgit and Tanya as part of the group The Swingers. Sandra Namursalu and the concept of the jaw harp are also showing up in that. The change in rules means that people who aren't actually Estonian or Estonian residents can compete for the first time, which means that Sweden's Victor Krone is popping up. He's singing Stig's song. And US resident Lacey J is going to be singing Hallelujah. Presumably, obviously, a different version of Hallelujah than the one we've had previously at Eurovision. This is a big change for the selection. Remember, it's going outside of Tallinn as well for the 2 semi-finals. And yeah, we've got all of the 22, and I've just got a little note from Ellie here saying we all really want to be looking at Vos Syndicats. I'll trust that judgment as I head over to France. We're awaiting air dates and the entrant list for Destination Eurovision, but we do know the expert panel. Christophe Willem returns. André Monakian, jazz singer and former judge on the French Idol, and Vita, who's the most played French female artist on the radio in 2018 and was also a songwriter as part of Destination Eurovision last year. Shaping up to be a good national final, that one as well. Semi-finals are going to be broadcast live, unlike last year. Georgia is making a bid to be the longest national final this season, although we do need to get the final dates compared to Malta. Starts on January the 1st. It will have its final on March the 2nd. That makes it longer than Lithuania's 8-week sprint this year by about a week. So we do need to keep an eye on that one and do the measurements as well. Hungary, new logo for Adal to go along with the 30 songs and artists that were announced this week. Usual mix of genres and styles. It's completely all over the shop. A huge range and selection. Everybody should find at least one or two songs in there that they're going to enjoy. Josipa Pai is returning. Andrei Kalasandras is also returning, but it's part of the band The Middletones. And Leandra Kills, who were one of my favourites from the national final season last year that didn't make it through, are also returning for another swing to represent Hungary at the Eurovision Song Contest. Not all of the songs are released, but check your streaming services, YouTube, Spotify and the likes, and the ones that are will be there. Moving on to Italy, Luisa Sobral, of course, from Portugal, looks likely to be a composer at Sanremo this year. There was talk beforehand in November that she'd been asked to appear as a duet or as a singer, and she's declined that opportunities, but has been approached as a composer. We are awaiting more details on that one. Perennial Sanremo watchers can have a think about who they'd like Luisa to write a song for. For me, it's Noemi. For you can leave your names in the comments. The 24 hours for the newcomers round Giovanni have been announced. That's taking place later in December. The top two places at that will be awarded a slot into the Campione and Sanremo in February, but they will have to change the song. Kiss of Death coming up. I did have a listen to the long list in that one. Nivian and Lotti Penso. The song is the one that I'm keeping a close eye on there. So if they make it, told you so. And if not, Kiss of Death, told you so. Finally, on that one, RAI have confirmed that first refusal will be given to the winner of Sanremo if they want to go to Eurovision, and if they decline, then RAI can choose anybody else. Presumably from Sanremo, but if there's somebody outside of the remit and RAI are so inclined, they could choose that themselves. But expect the winner of Sanremo to turn up at Eurovision in Tel Aviv. Latvia, we have a 33-song list there. 64 songs were eligible for the competitions. It's neither is it the shortlist for the ones that will go on the television, but it is the 33 list of audition videos. They're all up on YouTube. You can give LTV your feedback at the Supernova website. Unsurprisingly, Marcus Riva's in there. Samantha Tina is in there. And Roy Delaney is pretty sure that this year he's definitely spotted the person who's the Riga Beaver out of his costume. And this year he really means it, and he's really sure, and he's definitely sure, and we will keep you up to date on the fun in Latvia as well. Lithuania, as noted, is doing an 8-week run this year, but also the Eurovision after party that they had scheduled in for December has been cancelled. No further details have been given, so if you're planning to go on that one, find something else to do in Lithuania. Lovely country, I'm sure you will, and if not, give Charlene a nudge. She's probably got some tourism details and tips. Portugal have put out effectively, don't forget about us. We'll have details about Festival de Council coming up this week. But they have said they've got 200 songs submitted through the public portal. And Portugal, nope, we're not forgetting about you. Don't worry. Serbia, again, just keeping things ticking over. Pesmet Eurovisia 2019 has received 76 entries. More details to follow. Spain, over 1,000 have been submitted to go through, and again there'll be the gala selection show for Operation Triunfo, and we'll keep you up to date with that when we have breaking news on that as well. Slovenia, we know EMA is moving to a one-shot national final. Be Cool are not going to be there this year. Last few years they have topped the televote, but their jury vote has let them down. So the single that they were going to send off to EMA has now been released. So you can go at that and grab that from your usual streaming services. Right after Junior Eurovision, Sweden released the 28 names for Melodifestivalen, grouped into the semi-finals, and we're going to assume grouped into the running order as well. We've got our 3 returning champions in the mix: Anna Bergendahl, Martin Stermark, and Arvin Garner. Nope, I'm not going to go through all 28. It's Melodifestivalen. It's absolutely everywhere online. But I will note the openers and closers of the semi-finals because, you know, we all know how much they like their running orders. Gothenburg opens with Anna Bergendahl, closes with Victoria. Malmo opens with Andreas Johnson and closes with Margaret. Leksand opens up with Dolly Style and closes with Rebecca Carlson. And Arvin Garner opens up semi-final 4 with Lisa Ajax in the classic closer of semi-final 4, bringing up the end of Krister's baby for this year. Switzerland, internal selection. They've got it down to 5 songs. They will choose soon, but they're not going to tell us until March. So again, not dead, keeping the PR fires cool. A lot of details about the United Kingdom this year as well have come out. It's still going to be called Eurovision You Decide, but location-wise, it's going around the country again. It's going to be in the Dock 10 studios in Media City. That's right next to the BBC studios and transmission complex in Salford, so they don't have a long way to stretch the cable. It's quite close, actually. No word on ticket details yet. There are question marks on whether it's going to be, if you have a ticket, you're definitely going to get in, or if it's going to be similar to other Dock 10 recordings where they give out more tickets than there are spaces to make sure it fills up. I'm pretty sure, sensibly, that there will be guaranteed tickets and potentially an overflow. But again, keep an eye out for details on that. On OGAI UK, I have no information, but I suspect that they will be talking to them and there may be some arrangement in place. As always, keep an eye on official sources for details. In terms of format, it will still be 6 singers, but this year there will only be 3 songs. Each song will be presented in 2 different styles from 2 different singers. So you essentially have a first round where one version of each of the 3 songs will be selected, and that will go forward to a super final to decide the song that will go into the Eurovision Song Contest for the United Kingdom. Melky Droich will be hosting, Mol Zermerlo will be doing the assist, and we don't see a mention of Ryland, but we kind of hope he's on the judging panel as well, because he managed to pretty much nail that role last year when it was in Brighton. Also, welcome back to Andrew Cartmel, who will be taking on the head of delegation role for the BBC this year. Finally, in terms of countries and news, it's Ukraine's Vibdir national final. Tickets are now on sale for all 3 shows. Semi-final the 9th of February and the 16th of February. National final on the 23rd. Right, and what have we got coming up on ESC Insight over the next week or 2? I think Luke Davis is going to pick up the pieces from Wales's entry into the Junior Eurovision Song Contest and see what's next for Wales inside the world of Eurovision, not just Junior Eurovision, but looking beyond that as well. 3 minutes that have turned you from a Eurovision fan into a Eurovision forever is my absolute life. That's even why we wear the Eurovision fleeces when we're cold. Samantha Ross's essay should be coming up on that one in the near future as well. We've got the latest Decades podcast over on Patreon, patreon.com/ESC Insight. ESC Insight's content is all free on the website and the podcast. It's not free to make. If you want to help support the website, you can do so from as little as $1 a week. Details are at patreon.com/ESC Insight, and we got a little bit more articles and podcasts just to say thank you over there as well. Patreon allows us to do a number of things. It allows us to buy more audio equipment. It allows us to help support the team when we travel. And in case you haven't noticed, it also allows us to commission a new theme tune. So thank you to Magic Air for Electric Prelude to Tejoam, our new guitars, which will be taking us through this new season and the new stings and all of that as well. We're going to detail how that happened. We're going to talk about that as an open article on Patreon, so you can head over there and find out why we went for a new theme, how we went about commissioning it, what we had to give to Matthew. We've got some offcuts from the studio. We've got outtakes and everything from the complete messing up of the guitars and the drums that are recording. So keep an eye out on that. You'll find details at our Patreon page, twitter.com/ESC Insight, facebook.com/ESC Insight. We'll link to them as well. And our main website, escinsight.com. That's it. Take a breath again. It is into the new season. Tel Aviv is calling, and we not long to go. And so we start getting some songs and some more names to join Armenia and Sarbuka, who will all be heading for a ticket to Tel Aviv. And so, for the first time, here are the new guitars. The ESC Insight News podcast this week was hosted by Ewan Spence, written by Ewan Spence, Charlene Wright, Samantha Ross and Ellie Chalkley. For more details and more Eurovision, www.escinsight.com.